Hello, everybody, welcome. Roses like investigator. So I hope everybody is doing well this late night appearance of Roses like investigator. No, but Karina had we were supposed to talk today, but she had some minor something happened, so she had to take off. She'll be back. Okay. All right. So it's a day's early. It's 12:30 a.m. I'm starting to record. So, guys, as I'm trying to improve on my sleep, but then the next day I'm kind of tired. Long story, but then but then I go to check the news because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go work on it, and then I check the news and it's so horrifying, right? All the stuff that you read, and I start. So the thing is, as you know, I collect everything, but then it's so overwhelming the amount of it that it's like, wow. And then I put on some makeup and I feel better, right? I'm gonna come back. Okay, because I know Corinne and I are gonna talk tomorrow, but there's so much going on that I know it's like, and you know that there's a technique that Bannon uses called a fire hose is a fire hose of untruths or something like that. It's when they 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 put so much information, there's so much going on that we get overwhelmed and kind of don't know where to look. But I think we have to look at least to a degree, even though I do say that we have to keep our energy very high and to keep ourselves wrapped in light and to give all of your energy in prayer to the light. Because in a way, yes, it is an illusion, right? The sense that they are living off of this darkness and we're not. But at the same time, we're documenting their atrocities, right? Or their craziness. Craziness is actually not the word. It's actually the wrong word. Very much the wrong word because they planned all of this and they're deranged, but they mean it, right? Just as, the man with the mustache meant it in Germany in the 1930s and 40s. Okay, so let's go. Hey ho, let's go. Okay, let's do the put up roll. I like to ask for protection before we have a light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and only the goodness, so it is. Okay, so that is so much information. And it's interesting because I get parts of the news items, and then I get these tidbits, and that's what I'm thinking I'm going to start with today. So it's just because the whole thing is just so unbelievable. Let me just hold on and get you the link, okay? But again, it's this interesting conundrum of we at the same time that we hold on to the light and that we focus on giving all our power to the light, we are witnessing this. And I think this, especially the thing I'm going to show you now, we have to witness this because there will be justice to these people. And it's just, in a way, it is, of course, shocking to see that we have come thus far, but we have to see it so that it will not be repeated again. Okay? All right, so let me pause. So, guys, of course, it happened again that I was talking for maybe 10 minutes and I forgot to press record. So, starting over. At least it was not the whole video. So, I had done the intro and I started talking about this new executive order by Trump. And so, what I should actually make sure that I do this more, okay, that I do this without actually pausing because I end up doing this a lot. Okay. Now, this is Ben Jacobs, a journalist with Politico, and he wrote, "The White House just issued an executive order on South Africa that includes admitting Afrikaner, South Africans, as refugees to the United States." Now, we know that, or maybe you don't know, but so Afrikaner are the Dutch descendants of South Africa who were in charge of the apartheid government. Okay, let me just repeat that because it is a little shocking when you think about it. That the USA now with Trump has made a decision legally, this is an executive order that admits the apartheid government supporters from South Africa into the US. Okay, so we know that, of course, and this is, let me go back here. It is a policy of the United States that as long as South Africa continues these unjust and immoral practices that harm our nation, the United States shall not provide aid or assistance to South Africa. The United States shall promote the resettlement of Afrikaner refugees escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination, including racially discriminatory property confiscation. Now, we know that these people colonized South Africa. This was on their land, let's be real, okay? They went over there. And then now this is all, this is extremely racist of this, but this is a whole policy right now. I have Musk, who's South African, David Sachs, who was also South African. Peter Thiel, Peter Thiel's dad was a mining engineer, I mean. So he worked for a time in South Africa. And we know that Elon Musk's dad had an emerald mine, right? So he was a mining engineer from Germany. And he took his son there with him when I think he was 10 or something. And the son spent his formative years, that he speaks of very fondly, in South Africa's white-only private boarding schools. So here we are. But I'm saying all of this because because of a photograph. This is maybe the most, it's very glaring and it's very telling, okay? That we have this photograph. Now, let me share this with you. So, okay, so there's this person, this is a man, remember, but this is Maxine Waters went to, this is the Department of Education, right? That those people had taken over illegally. And congressman came in. This is Maxine Waters, she's right there. There's this man who's blocking the entrance. So it turns out that internet sleuths figured out that this man who blocked the entrance is basically a South African person. So let's just repeat it. There is a South African man associated with actually a far right racist party, neo-Nazi party over there, comes to America to block the entrance of the Department of Education and does not let Representative Maxine Waters come in to the Department of Education. This guy, what the hell is this man? Okay. Okay, let's be real. So this is where we are at. We have these fascist, racist, apartheid people running the country, right? At least for now, for a few days, for however long it lasts. And he is not letting her come in, a representative. And considering his history, right? That's incredible. So again, this is where we are. And I wanted to show you also that the connection between Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, all that they have their South African connections. But we know that these men connected in something called the PayPal Mafia, where former early employees of PayPal formed this group that is like 95% of it is very far right. Among them, there's somebody named Roloff. By the way, Roloff comes across as a nice man. Long story, but so let me show you here. Here he is. Now, Sequoia is a very famous venture capital firm, and he's very close to Elon Musk. He is also South African. Now, what I wanted to tell you is that this is his grandfather. Okay, we're talking about again apartheid government. So here it is. His grandfather, Roloff, both are the same name, right? Was a South African politician who served as the country's foreign minister in the last years of the apartheid era, the longest serving in South African history, known as a liberal within the party. Botha served to present a friendly conciliatory face on the regime, while criticized internally. So, so really, this is a person, like, we have people that are close to Elon Musk. They're all this like South African apartheid people. Plus, we have this thug imported from South Africa who's standing at the door of the Department of Education, preventing Maxine Waters from entering. This is not okay. Not okay. Not okay. So just wanted to tell you the situation. Now, all of this to then ask informations. So what is up with this? How, I mean, I'm not in a way, guys, I wanted to show you this because we have to witness this, because this is how this is also, oh, it's minimized is not the word. This is how the darkness loses power, is when we flash the light on it, okay? But what the hell was this guy doing? I'm just like this, the fact that we have this thug, criminal, fascist person who's not even American, preventing Maxine Waters from entering the Department of Education isn't so messed up. So what the hell's going on here? Tell me, please, God. That's what I see. That's where I see him in almost like a cart. You know those cartoons, black and white cartoons, when there's somebody with a raincoat, like this agent of darkness, it comes in and he's being told, no, we're gonna create this new. That's their goal, to create this apartheid-like era. And this is Elon Musk calls him because he saying, Elon Musk, we know he works for that country rough. And they're very connected with amplifying all the fascist parties all over the world, including South Africa, of course. So he's like, no, you should come here, man. Come here, help us out. We're gonna build a whole new Nazi, super great apartheid situation. Come over, we're gonna build it up and stuff. So that's right. And this is what he wants to bring in these people. Okay. So that's that. Now then what happens? Now I see he's not gonna last here very long. He'll be kicked out. And I see that also Elon Musk will also Elon Musk probably has American citizenship, but they all have to leave, I think. Because think about it, we've been infiltrated by these people, randos. I don't know, they're not exactly randos, but how messed up is that? Okay, so show me this guy. So then he's okay, but then arrested. I think he's gonna be arrested, charged. It's a criminal organization, that's what it is. So what happens to these apartheid people who now are all exposed? And I'm not talking about this guy who is South Africa. I'm talking about David Sachs and all the contingent of people who want to create this new apartheid government. Do they succeed? What happens to them? So it shows me them screaming, like being very loud, as in wanting to scare people. Now, to be fair, we know historically that's what, when Hitler took power, then he had the brown shirts, right, went terrorized population, and that's how they put their feet on the ground, and Nazism took hold. But it shows me that they're like, being very, very loud doesn't mean to scare people. But then it shows me that it's a bit like when we have a roach infestation. When you see a bunch of them together, you go get a spray. And that's kind of what it looks like. It shows me that in their minds, they're the greatest and the biggest, and they yell forcefully enough, and they have enough power that they are able to essentially do what amounts to this coup that started when they cheated on the election. But I don't feel that, honestly, I don't feel like it takes hold, because first of all, what the hell are these people? They're not even from here. You know what I'm saying? They just decided that they're gonna take over, and then, but it's saying there, and I see that there's a lot interesting, this image of them like being very loud in this field, but then under the field there's hundreds and thousands of people who are, I don't want to say just Americans, but are there are plans in place, and they are quickly apprehended because they're also so loud. But I don't mean quickly apprehended because truly they've gone very far, and this is where we are. But if I asked, so show me David Sachs and Elon Musk, and how far do they go? Like, do they? Because really, it's either they survive or we survive, right? Because I think they obviously are doing their best to destroy the government. Okay, so that's right. 1 week 75. No, 1 month 75. So that's all right. That's right. 3 quarters. That's right. So it'd be the by the March the latest. So not much longer, I don't think. That's right. Because that cannot go much further. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay. So now let's go to another issue because we covered a lot here already. So let me go to another issue. Okay, and then another issue here is that Trump revokes security clearance for Joe Biden. So President delivers payback for having his own privileges pulled by predecessor over January 6th riots. So my question really is, and probably your guys' questions as well, um, does this affect anything related to what we've seen? And even it's interesting, even this photograph, I find it quite telling. Actually, look, Melania is her own world in Trump, and like Jill is just so apprehensive. So, okay, so tell me what's happening here. That's right. Now I see Trump. Oh yeah, now I'm back. I'm back. Ha ha ha. He can't get me. He can't get me. But there's the plans are already in place, and it doesn't make much of a difference. So then it shows. I heard from somebody the other day explaining that using this concept continuity of government, and I told her I had seen that, I heard that expression before in the visions and seen it, and that's what I think is, I don't say set to take place because we have to see, I guess, at some point, because really there's no other way to go here. They are very clear about their intentions. They're they're getting access to all these parts of the government, but still, I don't think they will survive. I really don't, and I don't think it's going to last much longer. And so, answering the question here, does this affect what I had seen about Biden and the change in government? Again, I don't think it does because it's not as if Biden is in oh contact with a lot of people in the government. The plans have been set in place. Okay, so all right. Well, and you know what's interesting now? Actually, I was not expecting it, but I'm seeing the face of Dick Cheney, and I had spoken to someone, I forgot who he was, like recently, about Dick Cheney and how I saw him. He's and I see that he's talking to people. There's stuff happening. I really don't feel like, I know it's crazy to be like, no, but don't worry, Dick Cheney is coming to the rescue. But really, I feel like there's something here. There's something to it, really, that I think, uh, yeah, Dick Cheney. No, really, I think it is like I see him talking to people about this continuity of government issue because it was so continuity of government plans were evoked on 9/11 and during the January 6th riots. So it works. Okay, it is a thing and it's real. So, all right, so I don't think the country really, guys, we are truly under attack here. And right, there is no, I mean, is anybody like, anybody has doubts about it? I don't have doubts about it. It's very clear what they're doing, right? Okay, so that's that. I need a little more bronzer, just gonna go out there and Little, double chin here. Action. Double chin action. Oh. Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. Okay, now you have probably seen this. And it's remember this kid. Musk's Doge team was fired by a cybersecurity firm for leaking company secrets. Edward Karstein posted online that he had retained access to the firm's servers. Now he has access to sensitive government information. Edward Gorstein, a 19-year-old member of Elon Musk's squad that's crisscrossing U.S. government agencies, was fired from an internship after he was accused of sharing information with a competitor. Now, that's the character of this kid. So, anyways, and this is the one that I posted, I think, late last night that his dad is the CEO of there's a popcorn company called Lesser Evil. And that I found this article that's explained that this company, I think it was 2022, was making $103 million in revenue. So here's this kid, right? And it's like, why would, and so it's always this, right? It's like you never hear of a person who struggled. I'm not saying, I'm sure he works hard in his own way, but isn't that messed up? How he had everything, but that was not enough. He had to destroy the government also. So anyways, so here we are. This is a person who, and this is in he's 19. He's 19 years old, so he already had done horrible things to the places he worked for, right? So no loyalty, no character. So again, let's see here. What is hold on. What is going on with this car? Yeah, no, I see him handcuffed in prison uniforms. And I see him in this orange uniform, but with those shackles and the like kind of hardcore prison, essentially. They will send him to because the crime he's committed. And then I was reading somewhere, I don't know if it was Twitter or something, someone said uh, something to the effect of these kids should be aware that they're entering into Edward Snowden territory where they they are committing serious offenses. And Elon Musk is not going to save them when the law comes. And that's so true. And I see that they will be made an example of because it will go down in the history books, right? So, interesting, fun, interesting, fun, interesting. So, guys, again, I stopped recording, and I had this thing with JFK, and it was upsetting because oh my God, I have to remind myself it's kind of crazy now. So, anyway, so I was saying, it's so upsetting. But anyway, and then I'll go. Okay, so Trump just terminated the chair of the Kennedy Center and has installed himself as the new chair. He says he will now be dictating the institution's art and culture and says it must reflect what he chooses. So I was saying before I did the recorded that Trump is motivated by jealousy because he's so illegitimate. He attacks those things that are legitimate. And the Kennedys are a big source of attacks for the Russians and for Trump. And I was saying that um, because Trump knows, again, he's so illegitimate, he has to claim that the things that are most important and most real are not. That he is, no, only I know. So then, as I was saying this, I picked up on JFK being around and looking. And I asked him what is going to happen to the Kennedy Center. And I saw this image of the building of the Kennedy Center being kind of shaken up a little, but it's a minor earthquake and everything will be okay. And then I picked up, he was saying that the forces, this is like was so annoying that I wasn't recording, but the forces that were against his administration and that he showed me the image of the man who killed him. That man, they were connected. So in a way, he made it known to me that his killer was connected to the Russians, and I had read that I think I don't know his name, but I had read that his killer had spent time in the Soviet Union, and there was speculation that he was sort of kind of brainwashed into do something like this. Okay. Anyway, so he shows me this man who killed him, and also the resistance to the civil rights movement in the U.S., especially in the South, and how they never accepted it. And this the Trump administration and Elon Muscovite is a culmination of the growth of this, both efforts by the Russians to take down the U.S. from outside and from inside, and the right wing efforts. So to Trump, to Republicans, to Russians, Kennedy is everything they want to destroy because he represents the good. And another thing that I was saying while he wasn't recording is that in philosophy and theology, in really different religions, the good is the thing that lasts, right? And Trump is the opposite of it. So he attacks the good because he wants to destroy it. He hates it because, unlike the evil, the good is that which lasts. And JFK said here, is coming here saying, in fact, the values that they upheld last. And this is why people care about them. It's because he represented hope, he represented vision, he represented something positive. And Trump and his minions only represent fraud, destruction, and darkness. And that never really lasts, right? So that is a very nice message here to JFK. Okay, then he's saying thank you. And then it shows up like we're flying up. And it's interesting, I see this, he's showing me an airplane, jets. Those are jets. Jets will celebrate. But again, there's this, he's I don't think he's the word is that he's not that upset because he's on the other side and very high up there. He sees the bigger picture, as Cornell likes to say. And but it is, it's something that we had to go through. And like he said, finally we have to confront the forces that were left free even from the days of the civil rights era. At some point, these people have to be held accountable for everything they've done. Okay, and they will be saying soon. So, and then I see hundreds of thousands of servicemen and women on the other side, and they're there with us. That we're not, wow, and wow, it's very moving and seeing that we would never abandon this country, and we're not abandoning it now. They will not win. They say no, no. So, okay. And they're saying, with that, Rosie, feel free to go. No, really. It was nice. It was nice. And again, guys, I know there's a lot that I haven't discussed today and a lot that I want to cover with Karina tomorrow, okay? So it's technically Saturday, February 8th, 1:14 a.m. So by the time this is uploaded, it will be probably 1:40 or something, okay? All right, so have a good night, good morning for those of you who are waking up with this, okay? Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.